Hello everyone. So in this session we will discuss about the introduction to archegoniads. What are archegoniads? Archegoniads are nothing but the archegonium, which are the female reproductive organs of the non-flowering plants. So here you can see the structure of the archegonium. So this archegonium, it is differentiated into two regions, that is ventral region as well as the neck region. The ventral region consists of egg cell as well as one ventral canal cell, and the neck cells consist of neck canal cells as well as the cover cells, which are also known as the lid cell. So what are archegoniads? Archegoniads are the group of primitive plants which bear the female reproductive organ, that is known as archegonium. So these archegonium, they are multicellular flask shaped structure. Okay, so these cells are multicellular, and the structure of the archegonium, it is a flask shaped. They usually occur in bryophytes, pteridophytes and gymnosperms. The archegonium, it is the hollow container housing to the egg cell. So this egg cell, it is the precursor of the sporophytic generation. So what do you mean by precursor? Precursor, it is the substance from which the another substance is formed, that is termed as the precursor. So the egg cell, it is the precursor of the sporophytic generation. The sporophytic generation is occurred from the egg cell. So the archegonium, it is differentiated into ventral cells as well as the neck cell. So the sexual reproduction in archegonium, that is usually heterospory. Heterospory means it is the production of the spores of two different sizes, which may be male or female spores. The male spores are termed as the microspores and the female spores are termed as the megaspores. So after the fertilization, the first product which is occurred, that is known as the zygote. So coming to the unifying characters of the archegoniads. Unifying character means which unites. Okay, so the archegonium, that is the female reproductive organ, and this one is the antheridium, that is the male reproductive organ. So the presence of the multicellular gametophytic and sporophytic generation is another unifying character. Okay, unifying means the characters which are uniform. Okay, so there is a presence of a multicellular gametophytic generation as well as the sporophytic generation. Gametophytic generation means gametes are produced. Okay, so usually it is a haploid phase, and the sporophytic generation means it is the diploid multicellular stage in the life cycle of the plants. So there is a heteromorphic alternation of the generation. So this is the another unifying character of the archegoniads. So heteromorphic alternation of generation. Alternation of generation means a pattern of a reproduction occurring in the life cycle of many lower plants. Alternation of generation means it is a pattern or a type of reproduction occurring in the life cycle of many lower plants. So the morphological reduction of the sexual or gametophytic phase was evident in the life cycle of the archegoniads. So the gametophytic phase was clearly seen in the life cycle of the archegoniads. Evident means clearly seen or understood. Okay, so the gametophytic phase was clearly seen in the life cycle of the archegoniads. So it provides the protection to the embryo. Okay, so the archegonium, it provides the protection to the embryo. Male gametes are flagellated and they are motile, whereas the female gametes are non-motile. Okay, so here you can see the structure of male gamete, that is biflagellated, and this anthrozoids are motile and they are flagellated. So here you can see the structure of the antheridium, which is a male reproductive organ. So it is having a stalk region, and this is the jacket layer. So inside the jacket layer of the antheridium, so there are anthrozoids. Okay, so these are also having antheridial chambers. So in this antheridial chambers, there is a presence of anthrozoids, means sperm cells. So the archegonium regulates the internal temperature. Okay, so they are involved in the mechanism of the transpiration to regulate the internal temperature. So they develop a waxy cuticle to restrict the water loss and formed stomata to regulate the gaseous exchanges. Okay, so the unifying character of the archegonids, they are having a waxy cuticle which restrict the water loss, as well as the stomatas, they help in regulate of the gaseous exchanges. So there is a presence of collenchyma cells as well as the sclerenchyma cells. The collenchyma cells are thick walls and sclerenchyma cells are lignified walls, which helps in the support of the plant. So there is a efficient spore dispersal mechanism. Okay, so next one, that is sexual reproduction. So the sexual reproduction, it is the creation of an offspring by mixing of the male and female gametes. So why we took the sexual reproduction? Because the archegonids are involved only in the sexual reproduction. So usually the plants reproduces in three ways: vegetative reproduction, then sexual reproduction, as well as asexual reproduction. Vegetative reproduction occurs in the land. Sexual reproduction occurs in the presence of water in the primitive plants. Okay, and the asexual reproduction occurs through the spores. So the female sex organ in non-flowering plant, that is the archegonia. So the archegoniid, it is a multicellular structure of a gametophytic phase of a certain plants. Every species of the living organism reproduces one way or another way, that may be asexual as well as the sexual. It might be vegetative reproduction also. So the sexual reproduction requires the male and female gametes. Okay, so usually the male, that is antheridium, and the female, that is archegonium. It might be in asexual, means it might be microspores as well as the megaspores. So now we will discuss about the characters of the archegonium. So it is the female sex organ in the non-flowering plants, that is the archegonia. Okay, so the archegonia remains embedded in the archegonial cavity. Embedded means it is implanted in the archegonial cavity on the dorsal surface of the gametophyte. Okay, the upper part of the neck of the archegonium generally protrudes out of the cavity. Protrudes means above the surface. Okay, so the upper part of the neck of the archegonium, it is above the surface of the cavity. An archegonium, it is a flask shaped. Okay, so it is a flask shaped structure made up of a long elongated neck and the globular venter. So it is a long elongated as well as it is having a globular venter. So the venter is sessile. Sessile means fixed in one place, which is at, or you can say it is which is attached directly by the base without the stalk, whereas the antheridium, it is having the stalk and it is attached to the thallus. Here the archegonium, it is a sessile, it is not attached by the base. And it is surrounded by one cell, or it may be made up of 12 to 20 cells here. The neck consists of 4 to 6 neck canal cells. Depending upon the species, the neck canal cells number may vary. It may go to the 12 also. And it remains surrounded by the 6 vertical rows of cells. Each longitudinal row consists of 6 to 9 cells. At the tip of the neck cells, there is a presence of cover cells, which is also known as the lid cell. Okay, so at the tip of the neck cells, there is a presence of cover cells. These cover cells may be 2 in number or 4 in number. The venter contain an upper and the small ventral canal cell and the lower large cell. So the venter consists of a small ventral canal cell as well as the lower large egg cell. At the time of the fertilization, all the cells except the egg cell, okay, during the time of fertilization, all these cells except the egg cell disintegrate and forms the mucilaginous liquid. Okay, so during the time of fertilization, all these cells except the egg cell disintegrate or they disappear to form a mucilaginous liquid, which gives the entry to the spermatozoids, and the ultimate product of the fertilization is the zygote. The ultimate product of the fertilization is the zygote. Okay, so after the formation of the zygote, there is a formation of the sporogonium. So there is a sporogonium. It is the sporophytic. From this, the sporophytic generation occurs. Usually, the sporophyte it is differentiated into 3 regions, that is foot, seta, as well as the capsule. The foot is attached to the bottom of the thallus, and above the foot there is a presence of seta, which is acting like a stalk, and in capsule there is a presence of spores, spore mother cells, and spore tetrads. Even there is a presence of alligators. So this sporogonium, it remains embedded in the gametophyte and it is non-green structure, thus depending entirely on the gametophyte for the food. Inside the sporogonium, there is a presence of spore mother cells which remain surrounded by the capsule wall and 2 layered calyptra. Calyptra means which protects the capsule. The spore mother cells divide reductionally and each of them forms 4 haploid spores which are arranged tetrahedrally. Okay, so it is the first cell of the gametophytic generation. The spores are the first cells of the gametophytic generation. The shape of the spore is round or pyramidal. Each spore is surrounded by the thick black walls. Okay, so the each spores are surrounded by the thick black colored walls. So there is a presence of exine layer, intine layer in the spores. The spores are unicellular and uninucleate structures. Later, the spores germinate into the gametophyte from which the new thallus is developed. So this is all about the archegonium. So what are archegonium? It is the female sex organs in the non-flowering plants. So it is a flask shaped structure and they are found in the dorsal surface of the thallus. Each archegonium consists of 2 parts, that is the venter as well as the neck cells. The venter consists of a single layered ventral wall enclosing the ventral cavity. This cavity contains an egg as well as the ventral canal cell. The neck cells consist of the neck canal cells which may be in 4 to 6 or sometimes 12 cells. At the tip of the neck canal cells there is a presence of cover cells, and these cover cells, which are also known as the lid cells, they may be in 2 or 4 in number, which undergoes into the reduction division, and then there is a presence of the after the fertilization there is a presence of the zygote, and after the fertilization and the formation of the zygote, the first step, that is the sporophytic generation, occurs from the zygote. So understood? So this was all about the archegoniates, their unifying characters as well as the characters of the archegonium. Thank you.